2.6 and let's discuss monsters. With a ton of information being revealed for Monster Hunter Wilds, now's the perfect time to look back at all the large monsters that have been shown so far and update the roster ahead of whatever monster reveals will be at Tokyo Game Show. Before you ask, Paradise is away at a Dragon Age trip, so you get a rare video where I'm VOing. Let's have some fun and you can let me know what you think of all the monsters that have been revealed so far. Starting off with Rathalos, it's easy to forget that I've already shown a returning monster in Wilds. However, if you cast your mind back to the reveal trailer, there was a short glimpse of everyone's favourite wyvern and the king of the skies, Rathalos. We have yet to see any gameplay of the monster in action, but it's lovely to see it already. It adds that bit of familiarity to the game. Personally, after fighting thousands of them, I still love fighting them, and I know some people find it boring, but I love them. Would it really be a Monster Hunter game without Rathalos? Next on the list, we have the recently revealed Lala Barina, which is classified under the Tennesseron type of monster. These are basically monsters that look like spiders, so think they're Scylla or Rathalos. Aesthetically, this is one of the best looking monsters revealed so far, with that integration of roses into the look. Rarely, the website doesn't have that much information on what to expect from this monster, but after doing some research, this Japanese post on the Monster Hunter Twitter shines more light on what to expect. Bear in mind this is auto-translated though. The post says it is also called Shinkokumo because when it unfolds its abdomen, it looks like a large flower. It uses its legs skillfully and quickly to corner its prey. It rains down fluff that paralyzes anything it touches and restrains its prey. I am super excited to hunt this one because if you remember the sick looking rose armor from the Charge Blade trailer, it probably comes from this monster as it matches up with the type of monster that we were expecting with the spider and rose theme thing going on. This is a monster that we've been seeing for a while now unless you're behind on the Monster Hunter news, but from everything that we've seen so far, Chatacabra is near the bottom of the food chain. Chatacabra is classed as an amphibian. We know that one of the special characteristics is that they can use the adhesive quality of their saliva to affix stone to their arms in order to power up their attacks. After having fought the monster in our hands-on session, the closest thing I can say to how it feels is Tritranodon. It's a fun little monster to fight and will be great for onboarding new players. Here's the cool little clip of me hitting the Helmbreaker on a sleeping one. Next we have the Balahara. This monster has been a star of Monster Hunter Wilds so far, being featured both secretly and front and center in most of the Wilds trailers. It is a Leviathan and the website says they could use their supple serpentine bodies to create sand traps for unwary prey. This is something that is introduced as a concept relatively early into the game. From the demo that we played, you actually get chased down by a pack of them, some of which are creating sand traps. However, a thing that you may not be aware of is just how dynamically they can do this. In some footage that we have, you can see that it is able to create a sand trap to act as a turf war against monsters. You can also see them create them on the fly in the middle of battle, transforming the environment. It's really interesting to see how much effort the development team are putting into the ecosystem and making it feel so cohesive. You've probably seen a ton of footage of this monster being well done from all the content from the hands-on sessions. Next we have Doshaguma or Doshaguma, which is actually the correct way to say it. I've actually seen a few comments roasting Paradise for saying Doshaguma, but that's how it's actually said in game and by the developers, so listen to this example. There's also this tweet by Frostdrake Hart which questions this, and one of the community managers steps in and confirms that this is the correct way to say it. This is a fanged beast, and from our experience under bio on the website, this monster likes to roam in packs. However, it can be easily split up from packs by throwing dung pods on it, or the new large dung pods that can split up the whole group. We know from a previous interview that some monsters' behaviors will actually change once they're outside the pack. Another concept that this monster showcases well is the idea of alphas. These monsters are bigger and more aggressive than the rest of the monsters in the pack, so it's a good idea to lure them away before taking them on. Something that I wanted to highlight before we move on to the next monster is that turf wars have been reworked to not have a predetermined winner, as now even the smaller monsters in a matchup will have a chance of winning a turf war, and the developers have said that they want them to feel more dynamic. Another thing that highlights this is that even the smallest monsters can group together and essentially jump a bigger monster, having a mini turf war, which is really good. So far we've had a few interactions between monsters, but the most notable turf war being between Doshaguma and Balahara, where the Balahara wraps around the Doshaguma but then gets yeeted via its mouth, which is awesome. Some of the monsters will have unique behaviors that impact gameplay, and one of those monsters is Doshaguma. When it's enraged, it will actually reopen wounds which can be exploited by the player for massive damage, which is kind of cool. Lastly, for the big monsters we have Rey Dau, or as the community previously call it, Thormagala. This is a flying wyvern that is regarded as the apex predator of the Windward's Plains. The bio for the monster says it has adapted to the lightning that accompanies the sand tide, with most sightings having occurred during the storm. Its ability to discharge electricity in powerful attacks pose a threat to even the most experienced of hunters. The cool thing about this is that when it's discharging lightning, you can actually see the horns tilt forward, acting as a railgun. However, when it isn't attacking, the monster's face will be on full display. That's why in early trailers we didn't see his face, because it was just letting off shots left, right and center. This railgun attack is chunky. During a demo, if you got hit by it, you will basically be one shot or close to it. But as people have noticed, the health bar will actually start to react anytime a big attack is occurring, letting you know that it's on the way. I know a few people don't actually like the feature on the health bar, but for those interested, there seems to be an option where you can actually turn this off as well. Something interesting about Rey Dau is that there's an area that it flies back to nest, and in this area its attacks are buffed, creating more electricity, AoE style. However, it can be countered by picking up grounding pods in the area, which can be shot at the ground, creating small areas of safety. Also, while it hasn't been revealed yet, one of the weapon previews gave us a hint that the toot machine that is Lala may be making a return, as the armor set looks very familiar. So that's all the main big boy monsters that we've seen so far. Let me know which monster you like the look of. I think I'm most excited for Rathalos actually coming back. I know it's kind of like a cheap out, but Rathalos is definitely up there. Then Rey Dau. The wyverns are the thing that have my heart. Don't worry, Paradise will be back very soon to VO the videos, and let me know if you actually want to hear my voice on more videos in the future. But don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because we will have more Monster Hunter content coming for you as soon as possible. We're trying to get through all the weapons at the moment, but we do have limited footage. Before I leave, I can do stupid stuff because no one's here. Tell me your best dad joke. I used to be a banker, but then I lost interest.